East Gippsland has experienced a challenging start to a new decade. After the green drought, we had the 2020 bushfire crisis, and now with the COVID-19 pandemic sweeping our nation, these regional families, like many others around the world, have been forced into lockdown and confronted even further with having to complete remote learning with their children.
Knock, knock. Hi, Megan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Who's this? Hi.
That one's Bella.
Oh, I was talking about this one. Hi, Maverick.
So hi.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
And this is Connor.
Hi, Connor.
I'm Megan. I'm a proud dairy farmer and a very proud mother of 3. I have a 9-week-old. I have a 4.5-year-old and a 7.5-year-old who's on the spectrum with high functioning ASD.
Are you enjoying it, Connor? Being home with Mum? It's pretty cool, hey? And what about you, Indy? Are you having fun? Is Mum doing an awesome job teaching? It's pretty hard, isn't it?
It has been very challenging to get Connor to concentrate with his ASD. Yeah, he's someone that needs extra assistance and hands-on. But then when you've got a newborn crying, it's very hard to juggle and make sure that every child's getting enough, time, because you're trying to feed and you need to concentrate and sit with him. But yeah, it's hard.
There's obviously been a huge impact on the mental health of many farmers after the drought.
Yeah.
How do you think COVID-19 is going to impact them moving forward?
If the COVID-19 has affected the milk price, we're going to see a lot more. Do you know what I mean? We've got a good milk price at the minute, but we really need that stable for a while so people can start paying back a few of the outstanding bills. We've been through the drought. We know what it's like to have sleepless nights. We know what it's like to dread to walk to the mailbox.
Yeah.
We've had the odd handout of $3,000 to put food on the table or whatever. I'm glad they've done Job Seeker, Job Keeper. Hopefully that will keep families together. But it's going to be a long haul. They haven't had business. The cafes haven't opened. All these people, they need help. It's going to be a long road for a lot of people. It's going to be hard.
So, Megan, you look like you're handling this so beautifully. You've got a newborn baby. You've just come out of the drought. The milk prices have been low and possibly going to get low again. You've got beautiful Connor here who's got his therapy and things on top of homeschooling, on top of milking. How are you managing this all?
It's been a struggle. The emotional, the physical, the mental, it's calving cows at 11 o'clock at night. And to come home, and these kids are the only things that keep me going. These are the reason we do it. We want to give them a future. We want them to grow up, you look around, it's beautiful. We want them to grow up here. Yeah, it's the best life.
She carries more of the load than me, with the kids, and she's got Maverick, who's only 2.5 months old, and to juggle the other 2 as well. It's just super, and she does her bit on the farm as well if I need a hand. If it's more than a one-man job, she always puts her hand up to help, so yeah, I'd be lost without her.
Sound like you're a bit of a super mum.
No. I think everyone's a super mum.
Yeah.
There's so many people out there that juggle kids, and some of them got multiple kids at school, or kids at primary school, kids at high school. And, I just take my hats off to anyone that's single that does this, because it's a hard yard.
Yeah.
But we all want the same thing. We love it. We hope the kids grow up and love it too. And, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of incredible mums and dads out there. I think having a newborn in itself is a major milestone in any woman's life, let alone in the middle of a pandemic when you're homeschooling and milking. You're quite extraordinary.
I love being a mum. Some days are just hard, and they're hard. I just try not to beat myself up. Tomorrow's a new day, and you just got to get on with it.
Just before the lockdown occurred, I was fortunate enough to have my daughter and son-in-law and 2 grandchildren come to live with us for the last month or so that it's been. And I've been blessed that I've been part of their education, so to speak. I've really enjoyed being involved in their teaching, their learning, because it's sort of back to where I started my teaching, just working with the kids, which is fantastic. I've been blessed. It's great. I'm Leon McAlpine. I taught in the Gippsland area in the primary schools for over 40 years. I retired at 55 and now work as a labourer in the tree lopping industry. I think there'll be many positives coming out of this episode that we're going through now. Parents are going to have a better relationship with their kids and understand that a lot of the subject matter that's being taught in schools is maybe not as necessary as some people think they are. And that the 3 R's, reading, writing, arithmetic, and life skills are far more important than they probably realise. The other day we were building a tree house. We used a set square, and River now understands what a right angle is and a 90-degree angle is, whereas he had no idea before. So that incidental teaching is so valuable. It doesn't have to come out of a book. There, like that, and have that side right against there, and that will be 90 degrees. So if we just get on with general life skills and doing a bit of reading and writing, I don't think we're going to miss a beat. When I was a young fella coming out of Teachers College, you'd walk down the street and everybody wanted to say g'day because you were held in a pretty high esteem. Whereas nowadays, I think we've slipped down the ladder and teachers aren't revered anywhere near as much as what they were. And I think perhaps after this episode of COVID virus that the teachers are held in a much better light in the community.
My name's Grace. I'm a mum of 3 gorgeous boys, Josh, Sam and Tom. And I'm also a primary school PE teacher, so I teach at one of the local primary schools. I think I loved school growing up, always loved my sport. My dad was a teacher, so I think that sort of showed me what that was like. Yeah, just something that I enjoy, love being around kids, love working with kids and being active.
So this is the machine that you guys have built with Mummy and Daddy whilst you've been in isolation.
Yep.
It's awesome. So how does it work, boys?
I'll show you.
You gonna show us?
Yep. It's pretty loud.
It's pretty loud, is it? What? Can I hop on? Can I hop on? You leave it without me! Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. And do you get to drive it? That is fantastic. How good's that? I bet that's a story you're going to be telling all your schoolmates when you get back to school.
Yeah.
So now I've gone from working 3 days on site at school, so I'm really on the go all the time with the kids, to now being at home in front of a computer. So juggling teaching, juggling keeping them going, and still trying to be in touch with my students. Communicating with them is probably the thing I miss the most in that relationship with my students. So there definitely is silver linings. It's different but good. Just the relationship, the time that you perhaps wouldn't have to have done things. I know for these boys, their dad's really hands-on. They've learnt how to weld. They've made a go-kart and an electric scooter. Having the time to tap into their interests and passions. We can't go to the gym anymore. Our sports been taken away, but we've been doing family workouts and taking turns to do that sort of thing. I just love the different conversations that we've had and different things we've been able to look in and explore as a family.
I heard somebody say the other day that we're not in isolation, we're in incubation. And if we look at it that way, we can find all of those beautiful things that we can grow in and we can learn from. Yeah. And I think if more of us took that approach to it, that the world could really become a better place.
Oh, absolutely.
So Rose, there's a lot of families just starting to get back on their feet after the drought. Then along came the fire that impacted so many in East Gippsland, and now we've been hit with the COVID-19.
Which has been a really challenging thing for everyone worldwide, not just us locally.
Yes. And you're teaching now out at the secondary college in Bairnsdale.
Yeah, now having to come back home and teach remotely is something that we've never done before, just so new. So we're learning each day, and hopefully we'll get on top of that in the next few days, hopefully, but it's going well.
Yeah, and your beautiful daughter Ebony is in Year 12.
She's in Year 12. She's very self-motivated and she's working hard in there. Year 12's probably a really challenging time to be doing remote learning, but anyway, that's how it is, and we just deal with what we've got.
Yeah. There's going to be so many students that sadly do fall through the cracks.
They will be.
Yes. What can some of the parents do that know that their children might be some of those?
I think the best thing you can do is just set small goals. So if for the next hour if you can get this task done, and then there might be some type of reward for that. Any positive feedback, kids will build on.
Yes.
Yeah, anything. You just say, I'm proud of you, and then you'll watch the glow.
And what are some of the silver linings that you've seen so far for both your students and your own family?
There's upsides to everything, and one of the most beautiful things I've noticed so far is that as a family we've connected again. We're talking more, all exercising more. We've got more time to do that. Playing games again. We've got Pictionary out, card games, Monopoly, and we have time to be.
Yeah.
Time to be still, and there's that time to really think about what's important in life.
There's so much opportunity to see the blessings in this new landscape that we have.
There absolutely is a lot of blessings. We'll all pan out soon and we'll start again.
Will be released. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah.
Hello, I know your face.
Because Gabe used to teach you.
Oh my God, you were like one of my favourite teachers. I didn't know it was you. I want to give you a cuddle.
We're not allowed.
No, we're not allowed. Come around. Let's have a chat. Thank you, Rose. So I hear you're now the Deputy Principal at a big school in East Gippsland.
Yes, I am.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you've probably been schooling or overseeing some of the students that have been impacted by the fire and the drought quite significantly, I would imagine.
Yes, country kids are resilient, which is great, but this has been wave after wave after wave.
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good start.
No, it hasn't been great. So especially now that they've had to go home. So first we had all this panic, evacuate, everybody get out of all of East Gippsland.
Yes.
Leave your home, when there's a fire coming directly towards it, really high level stress. And now we're being told, go home, stay there and don't go out. And I feel for them because that fight and flight and that amygdala stuff must be very confusing for them, really deep down with their emotions. It must be very confusing to know what's the right thing to do right now.
Yeah, definitely. But it's beautiful to watch. I've seen so many families really come together in this time and stand strong. And I think it's an opportunity where many families have reconnected and started to work out what is truly important in life. And it's been a beautiful thing to watch.
I still teach food, so
awesome.
I was just talking to my students this morning about what sort of things they've been making at home. They've all been cooking for their families, and just recently our students put packages together for elderly people who can't get down the street.
That's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
There's going to be some really beautiful human behaviour highlighted in this period. Oh, thank you, Gab. That's awesome. This is so good. You ladies are amazing. Hello. How are you? We're not allowed a hug, but I'll send love from here. How are you?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Got your mockies on? You comfy? You look better than I normally do when I'm in Oslo. The girls inside?
Yeah,
well,
they are.
let's go say g'day. Yep.
I'm Janelle. I'm a primary school teacher. I've been teaching now for about 14 years, and I've always lived in this beautiful area of Gippsland, and I'm a proud mum of 2 beautiful girls. So Marley's just turned 12.
So grade 5?
6.
Grade 6, oh my goodness.
And then little Livy, she's 9.
turning
10 soon.
So grade 4.
Grade 4.
Grade 4. Oh, wow. Are you enjoying it, girls? You enjoying the homeschooling with Mum? Sort of. She's a pretty awesome teacher.
It is a big juggle, and the juggle is real. I supposedly work part-time. However, this is created to go into full-time work 7 days a week in just trying to prepare your classroom. And when you're at school, you want to give kids the best opportunity you can as a teacher. And all teachers are still trying to do that now in a different setting, and the setting is at home. So as a teacher, you're doing that and putting everything into that. And you're also juggling your own kids at home as well, in working from home, trying to get them set up in their daily routine with their daily work, and then having to go in sometimes to take care of those vulnerable kids where their parents are working in essential services and they're unable to supervise their kids throughout their learning. All of that's a juggle, and it's also a juggle just to be able to manage a household as well. We still need to eat, you still need to go into the supermarket. So it's everything just balled into one that you're just trying to manage on a daily basis.
I think this is going to be a season where many parents come to the understanding that teachers are the real heroes.
Yeah.
We're currently dealing with 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of our own kids, but a teacher often has 22 to 30 students in every classroom.
Yeah.
And to be able to manage that, I think we need to give teachers more praise.
Yeah, it is a totally different ball game when you're teaching your own kids to teaching kids in the classroom. I know my kids in the class don't talk back to me, or they don't cry, or they don't whinge to me. So kids, be nice to your parents.
Yeah.
The greatest thing that has brought so much joy to the children and us as a family is definitely just spending the time together. Spending that time with the kids, having the time with the kids on weekends when you're not doing that homeschooling, whether it be lighting fires or climbing trees or picking leaves up. I think all those little things are what's creating the memories that these kids are going to remember out of all of this.
The greatest positive or growth point that's going to come out of this is that the relationship between the parents and the students and the school community is going to be a much more positive outlook, and that kids will actually feel a lot more comfortable at school, and they perhaps will come home and want mum and dad to continue to be a part of their schooling.
Just take every day as it comes, and if things are not going as planned, that's okay.
I think just to have fun and cut yourself some slack. Some days are going to be really easy. Some days are going to be challenging.
We should look at all the positives that are out there, and possibly the positives that are going to emerge in the future, and make us a much stronger nation.
Just to slow down. You know, you can put so much pressure on yourself, and there's no need to. At the end of the day, things will turn back to normal. They're probably going to grow more with you at home, being loved and, you know, just spending time, because our life is so busy. So just, relax. That's all you can do.